I didn't expect it to have to speak to me first, like in my soul, in my own being. I didn't expect that. I wasn't expecting that. So you're training to offer something to your students, to do something new, to transform as a teacher, but you don't expect this to affect you so much. So it affected me. I am one of the XBrain students first, and I have seen the change in me. I've told you that. I have seen.
So here I am with my colleague, my dear colleague Betty Davidopoulou, who has a big school in Thessaloniki, and she has joined my classes, my training sessions with XBrain and Little Stars last year. Yes. And now she's happy to give us some feedback on what's going on in her classes with XBrain this year. So Betty, welcome.
Hi, Theodora. It's so nice to be with you every single time.
Thank you, Betty.
You have this wonderful effect on people. I mean, your influence, I haven't yet found a word to describe it, but there has to be a word for your influence on people. There has to be one. I'm sure that by the time we finish trainings and finish well,
let's say,
yeah,
there's always something new happening.
Yeah, exactly. I think I will have found a word for your effect, or I will have made a word up to explain this effect to other people. Well, where do I begin?
How did you feel? How did you feel? We've started. It's the fourth time the fourth session we've done
with XBrain.
Yeah, with XBrain.
Well, firstly, I didn't expect it to have to speak to me first, like in my soul, in my own being. I didn't expect that. I wasn't expecting that. So you're training to offer something to your students, to do something new, to transform as a teacher, but you don't expect this to affect you so much. So it affected me. I am one of the XBrain students first, and I have seen the change in me. I've told you that. I have seen that how difficult it is to acknowledge your feelings and start using them. But once you have done it, I mean, there's no way back. It's what I told you last time. I can't look back now.
Yeah.
The only way through life, through your teaching, it's the only way through. There's no going back.
There's no going back. You can't go back to your old kind of teaching right now.
Yeah, right. You can't find the mentality you previously had, because this has affected your own being.
Yeah.
And I can actually pinpoint parts of XBrain in everything I do with my students now. Not only the XBrain sessions themselves, but also in every part. I mean, when I hear something they say, or I see a look in their face, you know, I use it.
Yeah.
It might not be an XBrain session.
You pick the words. Yes. You pick the words they're using. Okay.
Yes, and I use that. And I make a question. Like we have so much trained. I use a question, and that I use that, and then the next question, and then the next question, and we always get somewhere.
Amazing.
It has infiltrated all the parts. And I can even see the effect of my kids. I have to tell you that, my own kids at home. I mean, because they're all my kids.
Wow, and it's only the fourth session.
Yes, but I have seen it. But I have started using the question, started listening more, pausing more, you know, for the feeling, giving the feeling time, like we discussed. That's not easy for a parent to do.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher, and I don't think I gave I knew that I have to give my own kids time to acknowledge their feelings and talk about them. But I think I now do it better. I give them more time. I talk to them more. We discuss it more. We're more open.
Yeah.
You know?
And you become a listener.
Yes.
Yeah.
I stopped saying, don't cry. Don't cry. You don't have to cry. I started saying, you can cry it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy to say, but so difficult to do in your everyday life.
Yeah, because nobody has taught us. And we've been conditioned to stop crying, to avoid crying. Yeah. To cover our feelings up. We've been conditioned to do that. Nobody has ever taught us to acknowledge our feelings and recognize what's happening in there.
Absolutely. And the question format, the fact that you ask the questions and they might already have the answer, but they don't know it, right? They start recognizing how many answers do I have and I didn't know? I mean, how can this be?
Yeah.
They told me, the students told me such amazing things. They have talked about their lives, their decisions, their choices. They have felt their confidence change. I mean, the confidence levels went up.
Yeah.
I can see it everywhere, 𝘁𝗲𝗏.
And it's only fourth session, only fourth session. Imagine.
It's unbelievable.
After 6 months, what's going to happen? Miracles are going to happen.
Yes.
And after you embody this whole thing and this whole mentality and start using it in your life, like on a daily basis, more and more, because now it's only after 25 days after the first session. Right. Yeah.
And everything that we talked about helps. I mean, when they are blocked, future pacing that we talked about, it has opened their mind.
Exactly.
It has made them realize how it makes it easier for me to get to the goal once I visualize it. Yes. Once I make it part of my existence.
And once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
Right.
Once you see it, then there's no going back.
There's no going back. I wanted to tell you something more. The fact that they never said no, it amazed me. So I expected some of the teenagers who are the first people to say no just because they're teenagers, just because they have to say no, just because they want to make discussion or whatever. Nobody said no. Nobody said, why should we have a journal? Why should we have these XBrain sessions? Why? Nobody said why. They just all engaged and just did it. It was amazing to me. It was amazing. I could not believe that they kept writing about how are you feeling? I said one word and they wrote pages. They wrote pages about what can I do? The question was, what can I do today? What can I start doing that I know can help me achieve my goal? I mean, they wrote pages.
Yeah.
They gave each other insight. It was amazing for 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds. They're amazing people. They're bright people.
Yeah, and in every session we share one tool that everybody can use in their everyday lives to go through life. And imagine now these students after 6 months being equipped with all those tools. Wow. What else can they ask for? Wow. When they're grown-ups, going through adulthood with having these tools and having been through the whole process of this empowerment and goal setting and building on their confidence and their skills, their life skills.
That nobody works on. Nobody else.
Nobody works on, yeah.
They cannot find this anywhere else. They cannot have this anywhere else. And they need it. They need it for their lives. They need it they don't have any other defense system. They don't have any other functional system to help them through life. They cannot find it anywhere.
Yeah. And for me, this is a priority. This is the #1 thing we should be taught at school. And then all the academics. And now I'm so happy that I can see the results through you. It's not only with my students that, okay, it might have been a coincidence that it worked. I can see the results through what's happening through you, what's happening in your classes. And now I can, it's like a validation for me that it works.
It does, 𝘁𝗲𝗲. It does. It absolutely does. I have seen it with one session with my students. Just one group of them had the second session. And the fact that they all had everything going, I cannot believe it. They're 14-year-olds. I mean, how easy is it for them to engage in something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Something they've never talked about, not even in their native language. Not
exactly. And it's easier for them in English, you know.
Yeah.
It's easier for them.
It's easier. Easier.
It's easier for them because they have learned English with their heart, as you say, and not their mind. And it is the language of their heart.
Yes.
Okay? So when they are 14-year-olds, they choose to be here. They choose to be with you, and they choose to do this with you. So it's the language of their heart, and that's why it works and goes through their heart.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Sarah. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. I cannot go back. There is no go.
So if you remember what you were before those sessions and after, how would you compare it? How would you describe it?
Well, that's difficult.
Do you remember?
Well, what I remember...
Because in a while you won't even remember what the old Betty was like.
No, I cannot remember it distinctly, but what I can recognize, what I can see if I go back and like play a video in my head, is that I always could see that they needed something different from what I was giving them. They always needed something that I was missing, like a link, like a button, like something was missing.
Yeah.
And it's like I have found it, and I have seen the light, you know, and I have found the button. I have found this link that was missing.
Awesome.
That's what I feel like. And what we said previously, that you become a listener. You know that you have to stop, pause, and listen. And I wasn't that before. Not enough.
Yeah, and observe. Become an observer.
Right, and learn from that. Use it. Use it to their benefit.
And when you listen, it's so easy for you to pick the words that really matter and make the ones that can make the difference. The ones that are going to give you the next question and the next and the next. And this is how you can become a wonderful coach and a mentor for them. It's going to be so easy for you to become a mentor for them. You are a mentor, of course. Yeah, you are a mentor.
Yeah. I had this worry that it's good that you mentioned this. I was worrying that if I started asking the questions, what if I was asking myself, what if I don't know what to ask next? What if I get stuck? What if I block? And then I realized that what they give me triggers the next question, and then another one, and then another one. And also a common kind of knowledge that we get to together. And when I started the first XBrain session with my students, I did not worry for a minute.
Yeah.
Not even a minute. It sparks itself. It sparks itself.
Yeah. Because if you're focused on what is my next question going to be, then you're not listening to the students. So you can't find the next question. But if you're listening, they are giving you the next question and the next.
Exactly. exactly. And
You just be doing this with your students, nothing else, no books, nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I am like ditched that textbook, but I wanted to tell you also that this has this kind of training that you're giving us has actually become part of my textbooks also. I mean, I realized that I was trying to get the textbook to be relative to them, right? But I didn't do it well or enough, or the method was something was not working really well. So now everything we do, the text we do, the vocabulary, the grammar we do, I make it relevant. I find a way to get through to them, like with the heart. And that's why I'm telling you, there's no going back from this. There's no looking back.
I'm so happy, Betty. I'm so happy for you.
I really mean it. It's a filter. You know, I have this XBrain filter, and through that, I promise you, everything. I mean, awesome. A parent came today with his son. I have had his son as my student for like, I don't know, 8 years. And he came for to talk. We needed to talk together about an exam that he's about to take in German. And I felt the XBrain filter in me waking up in this discussion with the parent and the child. Not only in my lessons, like everywhere.
It goes everywhere now.
Filter of XBrain.
Yeah, you cannot stop it now. It goes everywhere.
I'm blown away.
It's instant transformation. Instant. I'm so happy.
It was I mean, it's like you made it for me, Theodora. I can't thank you enough. And I think if you're open as an educator, if you're open as every person, but an educator mostly who's working with teenagers, if you're open with the XBrain training, you can do wonders. Yeah. You can take it so many different directions. And nobody can really understand unless they do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to do it to see how many directions, how many different directions this can take. It's unbelievable. I have so many ideas. My mind can blow.
Awesome. Awesome. Now you're ready to produce your own things, to create your own things.
Oh my God, it's only the 4th session we had together.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what's coming. I don't know.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing this, Betty. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot.
No, I appreciate the training a little more. Thank you so much. I mean, I told you, it's not only the training itself, it's the trainer also. It's your effect on people. It is totally different from any other trainer I ever had.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Betty.